Okay guys, you're watching Build with A&E, and today you're going to be watching a video about a cabinet that looked like it should have gone on the bonfire. But trust me, by the end, you'll want it in your house. It took me 5 days, about an hour a day, and it looked amazing. So if you watch this video all the way through, you will be able to do the same, I can guarantee that. Now it started off like that, and it ended up looking like this. So watch the video guys, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay guys, we've got a little project for you to do that anyone can do at home. It's a simple little painted box. It's in a right state, this, as you can see, because we've got runs, tears, there's been knocks and bashes, and it's been painted with emulsion, which this is why it's scratched so easy, because look at this, look. See how easy, look at that. That's no good. You've got to rub it down, then you've got to rake out the cracks, prime it, then you're going to fill it with the appropriate filler, then we're going to undercoat it, and then we're going to add 2 coats of eggshell, which you can't put on the same day. And when I've finished, it should look $1 million. This chest came from Tony's wife. She's probably thinking, what a scabby thing this is. But Olga, trust me, when I'm finished, you're going to love it. Got some sandpaper. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way, the traditional way. You could do it with a sander, but with something small like this, I don't think we need a sander. And what we've got is a little bit of green aluminium oxide paper, and the grade is 120. There's different grades of sandpaper. This is the 120. You can get 80, which is coarser, because obviously the particles are larger per square centimetre. So the scale of the sandpaper is 40, 60, 80, 120, 180, 240, 320 I think there is as well, which is like really good. Really fine. It's almost like powder actually. Now then, we're going to show you a few marks on here which we've definitely got to get rid of because this just looks poor. Now you see here I had a little rub slightly off camera, but you can see where some tears are there, where we've rubbed the top layer off, and you can actually see where they are. And also here, now see this is called a tear. They're called runs, this is called a tear. What I'm going to do, I'm going to rub this down now, and you'll see, you probably can't, it's not picked up great on the camera, I'm sure at the moment. When I rub this down now, it should start to come through. Look at that. Gone. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do that all over. You can actually see the grain in the wood there. See these? That's all the grain. That. I do like these cabinets. It looks so shabby at the moment, but it's got a nice little shaker style to it. It will come up great, I'm telling you. Yeah, look, see on there, look at that tear there. Yeah, and then we just get that down like that. It's amazing when you start rubbing down how many faults there is in this little piece. Look at all of them. Didn't see them before I started rubbing it down, but they're there. They're not going to be in there when we're finished, because that's not putting my name to that. Don't be scared to change the sandpaper either. I open it, I've got a piece about that long, and it's folded into 3. So I can use the front, the back, and then you've got one inside. But never be scared. Just change your paper for new. And I've only spent a few minutes on this at the moment. If we don't rub it down well, we can't get it to keep properly. And the last thing we need is when it is finished, that it chips off really easily. Right, we're going to open this up now. Bye. I mean, you can see there's hairs in it, bits in it. It's just... But look, it will be transformed. Remember guys, you can do this. This is an easy job. An easy job. But you'll find most of the work is in the prep. Oh, look at all these runs. Look at them, look, you can see them. Use the edge of the paper on that radius there. Bend the paper as well, look. Gets right in there. Look at them panels, they don't look too bad, do they? But you watch this now, look. Once you start rubbing down, look at that! Remember, when we're rubbing down, make sure you're in a well ventilated area because you don't want to be getting the dust down you. So I do quite a lot of hand painted furniture, bespoke, it's built in the house, wardrobes, and I've done that for, must be nearly 30 years. When we've rubbed it all down, we'll get the hoover everywhere up, we'll rake out the joints, and then we'll get it primed, and that will be our first phase done. Right, it's just the top now, and again, we'll have a new piece of paper to do the top. Just fold it like that, fold it over again, do that, and it basically breaks off. Right, just do the top now. There you go, you can see that didn't take me too long to rub down. It is only the first rub down, by the way, because when it's primed, we will have to denib it again before we undercoat, and it will get a rub down between each coat. We need to do these. See these cracks in the panels? Where the panel in there. So what we do is we rake them out like that. See? We rake them out, and then what happens is then tomorrow, we'll cork them, and if there's any finish to be done, will be on it. This will help us reduce the chance of cracking in the future. We'll take those out and then we'll cork them with a flexible cork. Shouldn't have a problem with them again. That joint there, that will be filled with appropriate filler. That one. Go and get Henry now. Most believe it or not, that's the hardest bit, the rubbing down. From now on, plain sailing. Well guys, there you go. We've got a bit of white wood primer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of thinners with it, just to ease it a bit, and that's what's going to help it to stick to the surface as well, because it will soak into the bare timber. Just get that white over there. There you go, as you can see it's settled out, so what we'll do, quick stir. That's too thick to put straight on out the tin. Well, I've just added a little bit of white spirit to that, and as you can see, it's thinner, and that's much easier to work with. When it was thick, like you saw in the tin, you're going to end up with loads of tram lines in the brushwork. It would look awful. So with the primer, all coats will be thinned. Right then guys, here we go now. We're just going to give it a coat of primer. This is pretty straightforward as well. The thing not to do, when you load your brush up like that, don't go straight on the hinges or in the corners, because that's where you're going to get all the runs. You don't want them to be doing it that way. That's it. At the top edge there. Obviously with primer, we're not going to be priming the inside because it looks like the inside's being primed. Basically, when I paint these, I usually paint the panel first, like that. And the panel, you can see where I'm moving the brush, moving the paint out, and like that way, and then I'll lay it off up and down like that. section gets laid off. You know what I mean? Like they go that way, that goes that way. Do you see what I mean? Priming the final bit now, the top. Just laying it off now, that means making sure all the brush strokes go the same way. Like that. Around the edge, make sure we've got no runs. Okay guys, I think you'll agree, just giving it a rub down and a coat of primer, it's starting to come together already. See this? We're going to fill this, fill these joints, fill these panels. Where the bare wood was, you can see the primer is sinking in to the timber. That's a really good sign, because that means when that soaks in, it's getting a really tight grip. Next phase, as you can see yesterday I primed it, all-base primer, needed to leave it overnight. Now it's dry and it's bound all the materials together now. So now we've got a really nice solid base that we can start working on. First of all, what we're going to do, I've got this little pad, medium coarse, and we're just going to give it a little denib now. We're not going to break through the paint, we're just going to give it a denib. And just go around like this. Just a light scrub over all the way around. Go. Right, now we've done that, we've got some filler. It's a 2-pack wood filler, which is really good stuff because it expands and contracts with the wood. We have a little activator that we add to it. So basically, if we have a golf ball size of filler, then we use a pea-sized piece of activator. So if you can use that as the ratio that we're going to use, we won't be using that much. You can get this actually in white and wood colour. But for this, we just need it white. So here we go. Make sure your spatula is nice and clean like that. One thing, you don't get too much out in one go because it does go hard, pretty rapid. Mixing it on the top of there, we're mixing it together now, we're getting the activator into the filler, like that. You can just feel when it's right, and I think that's about right now. And what I always find as well is don't put too much on, because you can always fill it twice. This is how quick it goes off, I can just feel that going off. This filler goes off in about 2 or 3 minutes, start rubbing it down after about 5 to 10. Right guys, we've used a 2-pack on the flat areas, and now what we're going to use now is a bit of decorator's caulk to just fill around the panels. there's your first fill. So basically, just to recap quickly, we've used the 2-pack filler, which I showed you how to use, mix and measure, and then we've just used a bit of caulking with a sponge and water just to finish it off. Now we need to let that all dry off. Obviously the 2-pack will be dry a lot quicker. The caulking says it's repaintable after 1 hour. Please don't really believe that. If you want it right, you're probably better off leaving it for at least 2 or 3. I generally leave it overnight if there's a lot of it, but with something like this, we'll get it rubbed down in a bit. This has all been rubbed down here. You can see I've rubbed down all the 2-pack filler, so it's all nice and smooth now, and all those joins, any little imperfections on the panels. And now what we're going to do, we're going to get some paint out. I usually like to start from right to left, then you're working away from the wet edge. If you're right-handed, of course. Ready? Remember like I showed you before? Do the panel first, then lay it across that way, and lay it off, up and down. So the brush marks, although there shouldn't be too many when it's dry, they run parallel to the join in the timber. Lay it off, so all the brush strokes are all going the same way. This is an oil-based undercoat, much harder wearing than water-based, although water-based does seem to be taken over, but being an old-fashioned painter, I do prefer the oil paint. It is definitely harder wearing, but the water-based is getting better. Lay it off. You see, I used the cork to fill that crack that was all the way along the top of that bit of moulding there. Now look. It all looks to have blended in now to one. So that it doesn't stick. Voila. Now we've done all the prep work. Now we're at the fun bit, the painting. Same with this paint when we were doing this. I think on our other little video where we did the clean edges on the ceiling, I said about the roller about don't go up over to the edge. It's the same with the brush. Don't do this on, because if you look close, you get the runs. See how it deposits all that paint? Don't want that. You always go away from the edge and you don't get all those runs. If I do that, then I have to lay it off, because that's how you get the paint even, because you can feel the paint. If it's skidding and then dragging, that means the paint's uneven. But you can see now, you do it that way, and then I'll lay it off finally. One. So all the brush marks, although there won't be many when it's finished, they all go the same way. That's called laying it off. And it's nice and even. When you've undercoated it, just give it that little once round, just in case you've got any little runs or tears. You can just pull them out now, because even I get runs. What we got to do now, tomorrow, we're going to use that, a rubbing down pad, and it's fine. We just give it a light rub over, dust it down, coat of eggshell, and I've got some little stoppers as well, some little buffers just to put underneath there, but I'll show you that tomorrow. So when the lid shuts, it shuts nice. It's got a soft close instead of a thud. Just add that little bit of class. Time for a cup of tea. What was a job that I did years ago that stands out? I remember working at the NEC and we did the Subaru stand, and it won stand of the show, and it was in a red colour. And it was red, it was a dark red. And you know what red it was? It was that red. And it was stand of the show, I remember that. But by the end of the week, I hated that colour red. But it was a good job. Funny, just come back to me, that one. Okay guys, cup of tea, then off to the next job. See you later. Right then guys, now we're down to the final coating, which is the eggshell, and I'm going to show you what it is. It's exactly what we're going to be using. The final coat is little green French grey traditional oil eggshell. French grey 113. Nice paint this. This was undercoated yesterday, so I'm just going to give it a denib now with this pad, this fine pad. Just a little denib over. You don't want to be breaking the surface back to bare wood. Little pad over, all the way around. There you go, that's all it needs. Just going to give it a little bit of a dust off. I'm not using the dust brush because I don't want it to go everywhere. If you use the dust brush sometimes, you're flicking it off and it's putting it all into the atmosphere. Don't want to be doing that. And if some of you are wondering why I've got my shades on today, well, it's nice and sunny out there, it's bright in here, and if it's good enough for Tony and John, it's definitely good enough for me. We're going to start with the back. We're just going to do the same process. Got the paint ready. I'll start off with the back. Same again, do that section there first. I would say this is something, you know what I mean, you wouldn't give it a second look. It's amazing really, when we brought it in and you could see the condition, it was all the runs, the tears, the cracks, all the bits, you wouldn't give it a second look. But now, with a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, and a little bit of know-how, you've got something here that somebody is going to love and cherish. Mouldings now, you know, when I filled them with the cork, all the mouldings, they all flow now into each other. There's no gaps, no holes. When I use the paint kettle, I only tap on one side because that means it keeps this side clean, so when you put your brush down, your handle don't get paint on it. Right guys, that's it now. That's the eggshell finished. Now we just got to leave it till tomorrow to dry because it's all based again. It's a 24-hour drying process. And what we'll do, we'll put a little buffer on there and a little buffer on that corner there. So when it shuts, it has a nice soft closed sound to it, not like a clunk. That just gives it that little bit of quality. Okay guys, final day. So basically what we've done, we're denibbing it now. We've primed it, filled it, rubbed it down, undercoated it, eggshelled it. Now we're just going to give it a final eggshell. So basically we're just going to give it a quick denib, like this. All we need now is the unveiling.
So guys, I've just had a phone call from Chris. He's summoned me now to the offices. He wants me to come and have a look at this cabinet. So I'm just pulling in now to the unit. Here we go. Boom, we're here. Let's go and have a look. Let's see what exciting thing he's got in store. Let's open the office. Let's go.
Come on then, let's go and have a look.
Come on then.
Yeah,
Ooh,
go around there, look.
at that.
We're going to do the great. We're going to do the great unveil. Right then. You ready then, Tony?
Go on then.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, look at that, man. That's beautiful. This had so much wrong with it. We nearly threw it out actually. Chris, this is amazing, mate. This is.
In fact, it had been in November, it would have been on the bonfire.
It would have been. The wife is going to be so happy with this. This is absolutely beautiful. Because they had all cracks round here. Dude, look at the paint finish.
We did paint the inside.
Oh, you paint the inside as well. Look at that. Oh, I'm loving that. Our house is a house of shoes.
Yes, that's okay.
This will just be for the wife's shoes.
Summer shoes.
The summer shoes. That's wicked. Look at that. And that top, this top was so bad. I mean, it bounces. The fix that we've done worked out really, really well, hasn't it? But I tell you what, I would never have thought the cabinet I gave you would turn out like this, mate. This is just so cool.
Shows you what you can do with it, just a little bit of time.
How many times you see people just throwing furniture away and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, can you imagine recycling paint something? I mean, this is just absolutely awesome. We really nearly did throw this away. In fact, I think my daughter for university got this from a recycle place. It's been in somebody's house, it went to the recycle, she picked it up, she used it for uni, brought it back. And you thought, we looked at it and thought, oh my God, what are you doing bringing that into the house? But we thought...
And then along came me.
And then along came Chris. You're the guy.
Thank you.
And what's the colour called again?
French grey.
Tell me a little bit about Little Green. Is that like a high quality paint?
It's good quality stuff, yeah. It's not cheap, but you pay for what you get.
Yeah, it's very true, mate. You do pay for what you get.
What I like about their eggshell, it has a slight sheen on it when we first do it, but over the weeks it just softens out and it looks a real classy finish, and that's what I like about it.
What's that, a litre tin, is it?
That's a litre.
So that litre tin would have done pretty much all this cabinet easily?
You could have painted that 10 times probably.
10 times, wow.
Yeah.
So,
well, that paint there, that's for you to take home, because if you do knock it, you can just touch it up.
Oh. That's what the phone's for, isn't it? To phone you. It's made this piece of furniture come to life, hasn't it?
There'd be a lot of people say they would have that in their house.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah, that's it. But this is just so good now, and to have a
little thing. Is this?
because this is shaker style paneling.
Yeah.
You see this here, this is a different style, isn't it? This isn't of the same era, is it?
No, it's like a raised and fielded detail put onto the side with obviously a slight round to it, isn't there? But it works really, really well. I sort of, I think it is the original lid, but it's just like they put a bit of a finishing detail to it, which is really quite nice. I do like this shaker style. I've always liked that sort of period. It's timeless, isn't it, shaker style, I think?
Very popular now, that is.
Yeah, it's just really, really nice. That's it, awesome. Boom, bang. Egg wrap.
There you go, guys. It was as easy as that. And if you love the video, remember to like, comment and subscribe. My name's Chris. You've been watching Build with A&E. Take care, guys. Have a good one.